talking about the video.
Sway, ask your question one more time.
I just was
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just wondering, because it's just, all right. So a lot of stuff goes to my brain. One is, would you want your man, your husband, to do this for random people when he no context, no nothing, fuck around and finds out? Two, it's more so, do you feel that a man's protection is a privilege, and do you think he should be giving that to any random woman? Because I know you guys would be fine with it if it was like your girl best friend.
Wait. If you add stuff around it, then you can curve the answer.
All right, man. Damn.
Yeah. Don't, because you start answering your own question.
I don't need, because I already kind of know what they gonna say.
But don't assume. Those are two great questions. Don't fuck them up by answering them, asshole. So ask them again, straight out. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I guess
he ain't coming. He ain't coming. Don't call him. Go ahead.
You're right. Ezekiel, please help me. All right. Would you want your man or husband to be protecting random women? And do you feel that a man's protection is a privilege that he should be giving out to random women? So that's actually a two-part. The second one was kind of a two-part question. Do you think it's a man's protection is a privilege? And if yes or no, do you think you should be giving that to random women?
Okay, good. Ratchet.
No and no.
Straight up.
Right. There's no even. Mine need to come home to me.
Wait, but do you think a man's protection is a privilege?
Do I think a man's protection is a privilege? Yeah. Okay, so no.
So yes and no.
No, yes, no.
I don't think my husband or my man should be protecting any random woman. And yes, it is a privilege for a man to protect the random. Is that what you're asking, right?
Just to protect women in general. I mean, it's just something,
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege. I appreciate the presence of a man, so why wouldn't it be?
Ms. Nay?
I was gonna say to the first question, yes, potentially with context. Like before it escalates, maybe trying to assist with de-escalating. I would say that. The second part of it being a privilege in this day and age, yeah, it is like it's a privilege at this point.
Do you think that should be just given to random women? But I guess you said that's on a certain context, so it's fine. I'm assuming from this situation, you would say no, though, right? He should.
Yeah, she was big wilding.
So you think that men shouldn't be intervening in problems that they have nothing to do with?
I think before it got to, if we're going to talk about the video, before it got to that point, I'm pretty sure they could have intervened in a way before it even escalated. The moment it escalated, it's like, yeah, now she kind of did it to herself. I hate to say it like that, but she did. Still don't agree with the brick, Dana. I don't agree with the brick, but yeah, I think she went
okay. So you're saying that even though protection is a privilege, random women should be afforded a level of protection. If you're saying you want him to intervene
to an extent, yeah, I think to an extent, like if she's like she's wilding, she all in dude's face, it's like, yo, chill, shorty. I think it could have been one of those things, like he's like, chill, shorty, or maybe telling the dude like, yo, just go, bro, whatever. In that instance, but once it got really, really heated, and they saw that brick, I mean, maybe they could have stopped it. I don't know, but I think it went too far. It was a point where they could have intervened at a certain point.
So let me get this straight. He trying to break it down. He can't stop it. She get hit with the brick. Now he jumped back like it is
He's
what
like,
it is now.
Now you're gonna have to call somebody. He could have called 911.
You see how sticky that is, Paul?
That is a very sticky situation. I get it.
Nay, yeah. I've seen 5 foot nothing. Chicks try to buck at a 6 foot plus, 6'5", 6'3". Most niggas ain't that tall. Is most niggas supposed to fuck around and find out with a 6'5" nigga and try to? I don't.
No, but I mean, it's one of those things you gotta grab her up.
It's like up. Yo, you know what I mean. Even that de-escalation situation, it's like, yo, I gotta go up against this nigga. most dudes.
Hit the button.
So it's like we just never
put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
I'm just saying, most dudes ain't gonna they're gonna compartmentalize that shit. I'm like, it ain't worth it. I'm not getting no cheeks. I don't even know this chick. Nah, he got it. Somebody else. Police 911. I will call 911 for her, but
But what if that same man that you saying that they that little? What if that same man is her man? Then what?
Huh? The little dude?
Okay.
Yeah.
He gonna have to do what he got. I don't know what to tell him.
Okay, look.
He better figure that out himself.
Okay, look. Women should never volunteer a man for a fight. That's
How did
absolutely
this girl
stupid.
get in that situation?
I've actually mentioned men many different times of like, look, do not let your wife, your girlfriend volunteer you for a fight. That's absolutely stupid. I'm very similar to Mike. I'm 6'1". I'm 285 pounds. I look like a linebacker. I really don't worry about anybody coming at me.
Linebackers is 240-pound playboy.
Like I'm saying,
you look like a fullback.
Yeah, like I said, like I'm just a big dude. I'm not really worried about anybody coming at me. And even like at my church, we'll do a late night prayer. The ladies that are there, my wife will be with me, but I will still basically walk the other women to their cars, even though most of them are basically single and or like
you walking with your wife.
Divorce. What?
You walking with your wife?
Yeah, like my wife is right there. She's basically standing by like the stairs, and then I basically walk them to like their cars. Okay. Or like my wife will be doing something else, and then I basically walk them to like their cars to make sure that just to make sure that they're safe. And look, and yes, and that is a courtesy. But just like there's a video of a woman and a man getting into it at the airport. The woman swings at the man first, and the moment she swings, she then realizes, uh-oh, I just messed up. She then runs behind another man to protect her. Now, in that same situation, okay, that's okay. Don't volunteer another man for a fight. That's stupid.
I think Mike Brown. Let me get his super chat in. Gway, did you answer?
I said, I think to the first question, I said no.
Mm-hmm.
And
so would you?
Yes.
So protection is a privilege, right?
Yes.
And you wouldn't want your husband to be out here protecting random women.
No.
Now, what if you had late night work though? Would you be okay with your husband walking women to their cars and things of that nature?
If they work together, because that's not a confrontation that's happening, and he wants to do that, I'm not going to be mad at that, because that's a different scenario that is happening. But if it's a confrontation, we're seeing all over the news how many men have lost their lives trying to protect women. This is just absurd, so no.
So now the virtual world is real in terms of getting familiar with people, building community. To Mike's point, like at the hospital, that's a community. Even up here, like we haven't met each other in person, but we interact enough. You know what I'm saying? So, Gway, how would you feel if a man, like what Dana said, she was just coming out the metro, and the guy didn't like her reply and spit on her, right? So let's say something like that happened to you, and I was in the proximity, and I saw it. Do you think I have an obligation?
No, you don't. Because if I would never be in that situation, because I'm not in that. But if that was to happen to me, I would just wipe it. I mean, that's not going to change me. I know that is very derogatory and disrespectful and all of that stuff. I would just walk away. It wouldn't take anything or change my name or change who I am or any of that stuff. I'll walk away. Damn. But that's just me, So,
Yeah.
I say that I respect that for the sake of the conversation. I don't, but that's not what Ham asked. Ham, ask the question again, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Well, let me get the super chat real quick.
Do it.
Mike Brown with the $10. The problem, Nay, is the brick slayer will assume I have authority over you as a stranger, and now he's associating her action with me, and I'm not deep enough for her to go there with said guy. He gonna think we together because I'm sticking up for her. So Dana, what part? Like,
can you take away the super chat so I can see the names, because I'm not familiar with everyone again with our guests. And I don't have my glasses on. I can't see this shit. Gway. So I respect your comment and I respectfully disagree with it. And
he has an obligation. Would he have obligation because he knows you? And I don't think she answered that question.
I don't know why this conversation is making me very emotional, but it is. It really, really is. So I'm gonna mute myself and y'all. I'm gonna listen in and then I'll chime in when necessary, when I need to go off.
So I think
go ahead.
I just think the example of even so, let's say a man went and done something, sacrificed himself for a woman. He didn't die, but he went to jail. Let's say he's like, she was in a relationship with a boy. He went and she said he hit me. He went over there, beat him up. He went to jail, and then 3 weeks later, she back with that nigga. Or now there's nobody actually out there to protect her in even worse situations or said situation to happen again with a different man or whatever. So it's like we have to think a little bit deeper when we have these conversations. What are we actually sacrificing ourselves for? And there has to be meaning behind it before I actually go ahead and throw my life away for said person that I don't even know. When I have other women that I'm obligated to already protect in my life, there are already other women in my life that feel that if they need a man to call on, they can call me. And if I sacrifice myself for some dumbass reason for some random person, it could be even a dude, I don't know. But for the most part, you just have to be conscious of that, especially as a man, where you're put this obligation of protector of all type of bullshit.
That's a very good point that you make, and I say this all the time. Like my final thought, like we need each other so much, and we this shit just like it's breaking my heart. If I'm being quite honest with y'all, like I don't feel good about it because I feel like we're always at war with one another. We're always trying to justify the bullshit, and we're trying to justify why people should be hit in the face with bricks, or we're trying to justify why men are, giving or receiving the same treatment. I don't know.
Hold on, Dana. Gather your thoughts for a second. Mills with the $2. It's sad we're failing our sisters. Go ahead, Savage.
To build off of Mike's point, the issue that you have with a few years, like generations back, the women acted a certain way. When women were out of pocket or crazy, they were shamed. There were things in society that curved the behavior of women. So if you saw a woman on the street being accosted, you had a good sense that there was something bad happening and she wasn't starting it or she didn't deserve it. But now you have women that promote how many abortions they have, how many dudes they sleep with, how much money they take from dudes, how much, like, you have all these different behaviors that are good or toxic. And how are we as a dude supposed to know what the context is with these interactions when I know for a fact my wife isn't going to be out arguing with some dude in a parking lot? If I saw if I knew his wife, I don't know his wife, but if I knew his wife and I seen her being accosted, I know the type of person Mike is, so I would feel obligated to protect his wife because it would be based on the character of the person. I have faith that it's not going to be a stupid thing for me to do. But if a woman comes up here and talks about how she faked a baby on a dude and lied to him for 10 years and is proud about it, none of us dudes are going to want to step up and protect that woman when she out loud has bad behaviors. And that's the context that people aren't understanding. If there was more morals and there was more of a standard for how men and women interacted in society, then you guys could have protection from random men and there would be some form of obligation. But so far, feminism in society has made to where women have no obligation to men in any way. But women still want us to have our obligation of protecting you guys, even when you guys get into bad stuff or you guys do stupid stuff. And it's too hard to tell who's married, who's single, who's a thought, who deserved it and who didn't deserve it. And the only person that has to lose when it comes down to us men making these decisions is us. Because if I'm stepping in to save you, the only person that has anything to lose is my life. And the fact that women don't understand that like our lives are not worth giving up for no reason. This isn't the 20s. This isn't like my brother's not going to take care of my family. Like, we don't live in a society where people actually care about each other. So you can't expect us to step in and risk all of our lives for you guys when, sis, you could be the best woman ever, but the girl you know is trash. How do I know from the outside that your friend's the trash one and you're not the trash one? Like, there's no way to tell.
Yeah.
So I think men, honestly, realistically, in reality, I think men will react off of instinct and adrenaline in a situation, ask questions later, especially if it's a situation they feel that they can overcome and overpower the individual. I don't think you all are thinking that deep if something's popping off in the moment. I just don't believe that.
Well, there's